There was a man in the mid-50s. His name was Ronco Papiel. He did the Vegomatic infomercials, and he was the one that said, "But wait." Yeah, you know that. I love that. But wait, there's more. And a little bit of interesting trivia for you. Did you know that "but wait, there's more" happens to be his epitaph on his gravesite? That's just a little cool, right? So don't go anywhere, because just wait, there's more. There is, and we'll sleep when we're old, right? Like it's a wonderful, exhausting day. We have the pitch competition, and it's I know. It's like, the next up and coming. And I have the honor of introducing Sandy Gallio, the one commercial partner from Microsoft. This just in. No, I think we're good.
Sure, what's just in?
I know. She has 12 years at Microsoft, this successful sales and marketing woman from Microsoft. She has a life philosophy of be generous, live life. What's the third one?
Live life with adventure, be generous, and seek challenge.
Seek challenge. That's the one. Please help me welcome Sandy. Thank you. It's good to see you.
I love that I'm the, and wait, there's more.
No,
I have never been introduced that way ever, so that's a cool way. All right, I need you guys to get really, really energetic for a moment. So I'm going to have you all stand up, shake yourself out, and here's why. We get an opportunity to do something really, really cool here in the next hour. And it is to see 4 women entrepreneurs stand up here bravely to share their story. And that's not an easy thing to do. So you're going to shake out, you get ready, and I want you to all practice one big cheer to say, welcome to our contestants. So 1, 2, 3, yeah! All right, you can sit down. Now, here's what we're going to be doing. This is the cool thing. I've never got to do this before, so I just had to take the opportunity. This is what we're giving away. That is pretty phenomenal. And so what we're going to have is, this is a live competition. These are the finalists. And at the end of this, somebody is walking away with a real version of this. They can have the pretty version too, but a real version of this, as well as $10,000 credit on Azure as well. So it is a big deal, and we're super excited with it. So I'm going to get it started, because I also know it's the end of the day. So give me a second to put down this gigantic check. All right, so how this has worked, this innovator project, is people got to apply to compete, and it had to be an enterprise class cloud and AI solution that they wanted to bring to market. It had to be a new solution. So to apply, finalists were selected, and then these are the finalists that are going to present. They have 5 minutes to pitch their solution. And we have judges who I'm going to have introduce themselves in a minute, so hopefully they're ready. And they're going to live judge it. At the end, after everybody's had a chance to present, while the judges are doing their deliberation, I'll have all 4 of them come back up so you can ask questions about what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they got from it. And then we'll go on to Margaret's ask of Cabernet. All right, so to get there, I want to introduce a couple people. So yes, I'm Sandy Gallio. I'm at Microsoft, and it's really a pleasure to be here, because you just get so much energy from a day like today. And I will collapse tomorrow, but today I'll be energetic the whole day. Now, to get here, we had these finalists. Many of them haven't had an opportunity to pitch their solution before. So gratefully, we had Alicia Dara, who was coaching them. So yay, Alicia. She's not here, but thank you for coaching them on their presentation. And then, when all the applications came in, we had 3 amazing people, Sampata Berry and Michelle, who actually reviewed all the applications, and they made the choices for the finalists that you see here today. So thank you to all 3 of them. All right, are my judges all together so I can get them to introduce themselves here? Where are we? Okay, I'm coming over to you guys real quick. So I'm going to get the judges just quickly to introduce themselves before we go into our first presentation.
Thank you so much. So I think you heard a little bit. I am Erin Papworth. I'm the CEO and founder of Navit. We are on a mission to change the narrative around money to make it more gender inclusive, practical, and positive. So I'm very excited to be part of this and part of Women in Cloud.
Good afternoon. I'm Wendy Garcia, and I'm the Chief Diversity Officer for the City of New York.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Colleen O'Brien. I work for M12, which is Microsoft's venture fund. We invest in B2B SaaS companies in the series A through C.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gina Jorgensen. I'm with Microsoft, and I run Partner and Startup Experience, including Microsoft for Startups, in the Cloud and AI division.
Hi, I'm Margaret again.
We love to hear from you. We love the succinct approach. It's awesome. All right, so the four wonderful organizations you're going to hear from today is Adlane, AppFusions, Rainbow does Secure Note, and Automaton. Unfortunately, SheWorks couldn't be here, so those are the four that you're going to hear present today. The format, hang on. The format is I'm going to invite Adlane to come up. She'll present for 5 minutes. I'll open it. If the judges have a question you want to ask right away, I'll give you an opportunity, or somebody from the floor. They'll go. The next person will come up. All right, are you ready for this? Because this is fun, and I love this stuff. So first up, for Adlane, which has a visual approach to supply chain management. So I can't wait to hear more about this. Welcome, Roxy Starr.
Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roxy Starr, and I am the founder of Adlane. Adlane is a visual vendor portal and supplies visual workflow to the supply chain. We work with retailers and suppliers around the world and help them solve the ability for asynchronous communication. Sometimes we take for granted that we can use something like a Skype for video conference, but time zones are off. So a client like Patagonia, when our factories in Vietnam and China and Bangladesh and Turkey and all the way around the world, we're staying up at night trying to be able to communicate with our partners. That's why we developed Adlane. I have, with my mother, 20 years of experience within the retail industry. I was blessed to be born into a serial entrepreneur. My mom, Alona, was actually the first woman bank manager in all of Canada. And what she did is inspire me to want more, be more, and to create more within the industry. That led me to love being able to solve problems. I love fashion. I love fast cars. I actually earned one of my firsts is that I was on the cover of Hot Rod magazine for restoring a vintage muscle car, and that was 2016. The first time a woman was on the cover of Hot Rod magazine, not posing, but actually restored the vehicle, right? Oldsmobile. All right. So when I got involved with fashion, the trend was fast fashion. We needed to do this as fast and quickly as we could so that we could have turnover, hit trends, get this done really accelerated. But now everybody's saying, let's slow fashion. We want to be sustainable. We want to have transparency. We want social responsibility. We want to make this ethically. And that's the opposite of really how the supply chain is working right now, is we're all working really, really fast for trends, but we don't have these tools that connects us. And that's why we developed Adlane, because this asynchronous communication within the enterprise, we have Lian Feng in China, that's an agent. We have Youngwon in Korea. We have massive H&M in Sweden. We have Patagonia in California. We have these big enterprises, and they're all trying to manufacture something and talk about a problem, but they don't have the tools. They're trying to share a PowerPoint. Even to come here, I had to share a PowerPoint by WeTransfer, right? So we're all scrambling to be able to share, and we were able to consolidate that into one visual tool. This is kind of what it looks like right now. It's messy. It's really messy. We have the power in our pockets to be able to take as many photos as we wish, but we can't be able to share those photos. So this process is very painful. How can we be able to connect better with photos throughout the process? So we developed AdLane. We have artificial intelligence that tags the photos. We've consolidated this into a business-to-business community so that we're working on projects together. This market is huge. By 2023, we are going to have estimated global sales of $30 trillion. So it's a market within the retail industry that hasn't been hit. We're still using email. We're still using Dropbox. And guess what? We can't use Google in China. And if we're using a social media-based app like a WeChat or a WhatsApp, where it could be shut down. So it's a huge market to be able to connect for productivity, efficiency, transparency within this complex global supply chain. We have some competitors, but none of them are doing it the same way. Slack, it's very hard to manage 200 factories, right? So our product has AI, project management, and where we're going is to become a social supply chain. We are a software as a service. We have our next stage of growth is growing into a global supply chain that's a social-based network. So imagine being able to have those factories connect with us anywhere in the world. This leads to a social supply chain. Instead of fast fashion, slow fashion, it's social fashion, so that we're including social responsibility. As a garment is made, we can have the customer be able to see what that product looks like. Why we're here is because we've started and we see more verticals. We have over 500 users without even trying. We opened up to FIDM in Los Angeles and that grew. And we also see a larger market. So this is why we're here, is to be able to partner to grow this into a social supply chain network. And we are seeking funding of $1 to $3 million to be able to grow this into a new type of enterprise social network. Thank you for having me here.
Great job. I'll have you stay for just 1 minute. Do we have any questions from the judges? Yes, and we have a mic right there.
Could you talk more about the AI connection? I got the SaaS, the cloud, love the concept, but what specifically is more around the artificial intelligence or predictive analytics?
Yeah, so we have two types of intelligence that we're working into it. Right now, we've already integrated with intelligence within the photos. So we have seen that half of the time people are searching to be able to find what they're looking for, whether it's an attachment in their inbox or whether it's in Dropbox, they don't know. So we are auto-tagging all of the photos within the application. So if you type in black sweater, that's going to pull up for you, and then you can filter down even further. We're going to be adding another layer of intelligence, which is matching. And that's where the social supply chain comes into play, because we can build in intelligence so that we can match the right supplier and the right location so that we're doing it more ethically and sustainable. Because if we're ordering something that is from Peru and then shipping it to Cut and Sew in China, and then the end goods are going to be sold in Europe, that's not the best way to do it. So we can apply artificial intelligence to be able to match the relationships of the brand and the retailers with the suppliers.
Thank you.
Any other questions from any of the judges? Sure.
Thank you for that. That was great. So one question about traction and then what you're going to use, the use of funds that you're asking for would be great.
Yeah. So what we are looking to put in the revenue model. We built this as our MVP because of our history. We've actually been within the retail industry and customizing the workflow for the biggest retailers. And then we realized that the supply chain, it really can be, we can reverse power now, where the supply chain can be as equal to the retailers. So we're looking first to put in monetization. We have the SaaS model. We saw that for that visual collaboration, we could be able to charge, be a for-profit company. And then our next stage of the growth is putting into that the social supply chain. So that will be the use of funds, to be able to put in the revenue model and then be able to build it into the social supply chain. And like an Alibaba, right? So it would be an Alibaba across the world meets Facebook.
Any other questions from judges? Awesome. Let's give one more round of applause to Roxy.
Thank you for having me.
Great job. It's hard to be first, so we appreciate that you came up and presented first. So we're going to move on to our second one from Ad Fusions. Now, her product has the best name, Aloha Cloud. I just love that name. Whatever it is, I already want it. And it's on modernization and digital transformation. So I'm super excited to hear about it and want to welcome Ellen. Come on up. And did you get the clicker? Yeah. You did. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Welcome.
Judges, you can ask me why it's called Aloha. That's one of your questions. Hello, does your enterprise work as smooth as your iPhone? How many can say yes? It doesn't. Wow, I'm not surprised. Let's unravel that and see why it doesn't. Digital transformation is the biggest conundrum of every CIO, also Chief Data Officer, and CMO in the industry. There is nothing that is bigger than this in terms of what their priorities are. Why can't they get it together? Is it a culture problem? Is it a technology problem? What is the problem? The problem is that we have tectonic shifts going on with cloud, and we have hundreds, even thousands of companies, especially in Europe, that are very large, that have been around for 100 years, and they have servers, lots of them. And they have a lot of problems to move to the cloud. This does not happen fast. So let's take this part. If you're doing this and building this strategy, you have the tech strategy, you have the people strategy, and you start with your digital workplace, which includes all the tools that you use. How many tabs do you keep open on in your desktops? 10, 20, 30, 50? Till it starts shaking, and then you reboot, hard boot. It's ridiculous. And now the CIO has the agenda to analytics and AI and data security, privacy, governance. And in their ideal world, you'd have this unified end-to-end collaboration site. If only you didn't have to consider all the data silos that are everywhere, and you also have to consider the different apps, all the point apps, all the different functional groups. But in your ideal world, if you can visualize a consistent digital journey across your organization. So it reminds me of a tweet that got a little bit of traction last week, and it basically says that IT has a great deal of data analytics, systems, integrations that they hoard, that they do not let free because of all these issues. So if we could try to think about how to fix this, CIOs, they own a lot of the ops systems, the support systems, the different LOB systems, and then we have our CMO has diametrically opposed goals, and the CMO is taking care of the branding and different campaign management, but CMOs rely on the CIO. So if we could get them together on their strategies and for their transformation, maybe we could start making some progress. So who does this so far? Our phone, our iPhone does this. Or if you're an Android person, and App Fusion's Aloha Cloud for the enterprise. But we do, I have to ask you one more question. Do you think about how the apps are updated? How are they working? And if they're not working, do you stick around? No, but we do in IT, we do in the enterprise. We tolerate lots of delays. And so introducing Aloha Cloud, which is our digital transformation platform that brings data, apps, process, and people together for unlimited digital experiences, digital workplaces, integrated portals, and contextual focused communities, mixing and matching all the different data, apps, and process together as you need. It's a multi-tenant SaaS system, can be private cloud, public cloud, as you need. And to get that, how do you build it? You need to be engaged, you need to have great design, it needs to be reliable, it needs to be trusted, it needs to use all those modern technologies and emerging technologies that CIOs have on their agenda. And you have to bring it all together. But if you do it, you get better data, you move faster, you're focused, you get things done, and things work better. Ultimately, you start saving money and making more. We looked at the market analysis this, probably there's 12 different ways to do this. We looked at one, which was just CX and EX and DX, and it came up to $62 billion by 2023. We also looked at the consulting business. Eyes on you, Accenture. 68 billion on Accenture and their peers. And there's many other ways to look at this. This is a massive problem, and it's not being addressed well. So our team has dozens of experience working in the enterprise with some of the names. I'm sure you can recognize some of these logos from AT&T, Coca-Cola, IBM, Cisco, CenturyLink. And our advisors, I'm very grateful and fortunate to have my advisors, Diane Hinchcliffe, one of the leading thought leaders in the entire digital transformation space, as well as digital workplace. Also Donald Robinson, a security expert who's done some of the biggest efforts with Northrop Grumman in defense for security. And Mike Kale, a former CIO of Yahoo and Netflix. And finally, I'm getting to the end here. Why is this a golden opportunity now? Timing. It's never been a bigger problem ever. Failures. The failures of digital experience is misaligned agendas and integration. They can't get their hand on it because it's not holistic. Barriers, demand, expertise, availability. I'm looking at the time. And I got one last thing to say. Bottom line is, this is important.
Okay. I don't know. Now I'm curious.
We need more cowbell for Texas, for what?
All right, I'll ask you just to stay for a moment. You can keep the cowbell. I like the cowbell. All right, so, and you want to grab your mic there for a second. Judges, do we have any questions for Ellen? And by the way, first take a deep breath, because, man, you start talking. You're like, I got so much to tell you. So please, go ahead.
It's really hard to say it in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Ellen, thank you so much. Can you talk about the AI capabilities of Aloha Cloud?
Yeah, so right now we're using it in a couple ways, but it can be expanded many ways. Right now we're using it for our content services, which is curated feeds that come into the system, as well as content that's created with the wiki pages or blogs. And it's automatically running engine on the back end, applying natural language processing and tagging. And obviously we can extend it.
Awesome. I love the notion that this is a SaaS application. It's a multi-tenant SaaS app because people aren't going to make money in the future off of things being hard to do. They're going to make money when things are easier to do. So bravo about going at it from a SaaS perspective. My question for you is...
That's a beer discussion. There's a lot to that.
Yes, there is a lot to that. Sorry for all the consultants in the room. But I do have to say, I think it's really interesting. I'm curious, what's your primary distribution method for this? Are you direct? Or are you indirect through channel? How do you...
We're direct right now. We're in discussions, deep discussions with HCL right now. We would love to actually work with other consultancies. I actually think it could help the consultancies a great deal. We get to the market, we deploy, we're up and running in a day. And with 25 integrations, I mean, they're sitting there, the customer's sitting there swimming going, this takes us 2 years to get to. So they come in with a start and then build on top of that. And so the value add is really quick.
Any other judges? Okay, Margaret.
Yeah, one more question. So I do a lot of work in digital transformation, and I have to be honest, after all that you said, I'm trying to understand what the product actually is, because it sounded at sometimes like a B2B integration hub. It sounded like data streaming. It sounded like, content management. So maybe it's all those things, but I have to say you never once said this is what this is technically.
Yeah, so it's ultimately a web front end that includes all these different panels that you can drag and drop into your experience. It's a digital experience platform, but it also is digital workplace for collaboration because it includes messaging, it includes wikis and blogs.
Okay.
And you can have unlimited sites, and also the company can also be master tenant owner as well, which is a unique thing in SaaS.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Great job, Ellen. Thank you. And I've never had anybody show up with a cowbell, so we kind of need that at the end of the day. So that might be a new thing I have to borrow from her, is bring a cowbell with me. All right, next up, we have, Nihal's looking at me nervously. So you have to be super supportive. She's a little bit nervous to come join us here. So it's Rainbow Password, and they are in cybersecurity. So she's going to come talk to us about their secure vault. So Nihal, she's getting the clicker. Ellen has to pass over the clicker. 1 second.
Oh, it works. This one.
Yes. All good? All right. Awesome. Well, come on up. Welcome. And this is Nihal. There you go.
Hello everyone, I am Nehal Mehta and today I am talk about my one of product Rainbow Secure Node. It's a new way to protect your digital data and files. Today it's no secret like cybersecurity people are needed. Like if it's like your online digital data is not secret when cyber attack hits. People know weaker password, weaker security model cause you to lose your data and it's end up in millions of dollars. Even we are trying a YubiKey, biometric, so many different methods, but still it's not enough. Some way it's like something is missing here. So I give you one story. Like I have a trouble to remembering the password and securing my web accounts, and it's end up in hacking and data breaches. So I lose my precious videos, my kids' video. That's why I built this platform to secure my files and documents. And one day my son is writing his name with different colors. That gave me an idea why we are not adding a color as with our password. And we did a math and maths come out amazing. Like if we added color and style with a password text, that gives you a 30 quadrillion possibility to make one character of password. That's amazing. Right now we have only 64 characters. Now you have this much big possibility to make a password. You don't need to worry about complexity. Just make simple as simple. So here we build a cloud-based security model, our secure node. In that we are using Azure and AWS. Also, we are providing military-grade encryption tool and tool for you to encrypt your data and file and secure that in our cloud or in reliable storage. Also, if you want to share it in your email, you can share it. So now here is my rainbow password example. You can use any 70 million RGB color as a font color, 70 million RGB color as a background color, and 100 of style option like a bold, italic, underline as a part of password. And this give you like a 6-character equivalent to 60-character password string. Even we offer a passwordless login when you are not comfortable to use your own logins. Here you can see how we are introduce our rainbow password technology. Just select character and apply styles. And if you want to just add a color, just select the character and select or enter any number between 0 to 225, become your RGB colors. That's easy. And this give you a simple password, bigger hash for us, and so much complexity for hacker. So he is not able to break this one. This is my dashboard. In that you can store your file. This is my picture password. In that you just select a picture and color it. This is my picture pattern password. In that you can select one or more pictures, arrange them, color some of it. Also, we are providing a smart lock, so you can just secure your sensitive data from data that you are storing in our cloud. Market like us having a bigger potentials. This is my another advantages, like you can have location-based authentications, team logins, ADP integrations. Market like us cybersecurity product is rapidly growing from 2010 to 2020. Also, like this is my product team. Plan, we are offering B2B and B2C plans and packaging yearly basis or monthly basis. This is our future product. Rainbow Secure Messaging, Rainbow for Windows Login, and many more. We are doing event marketing and we are seeking strategic investment and partnership. Thank you for joining us. And let's make a digital life so
Great
secure
job.
and strong. Thank you.
Good job. See, it wasn't too bad, was it?
Yeah.
All right, do we have any questions from our judges, please?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So question is, if I'm creating the passwords in your Rainbow Password in Secure Note, how does that then integrate with my banking site or whatever? So talk to us about how that actually works.
So you can secure many ways. First, if you want to license my technology, you can license that Rainbow Password technology with you. If you want to use smart lock, multi-factors is called smart lock. You can also license for that. If you want to integrate in your API, you can just add like plugin, just a toolbar, and you can have.
So the whole go-to-market is the other organizations need to partner with you, use your API, okay, and then
Also,
the consumer
just
then
you
can use it there.
like login with Facebook, login with Rainbow Password.
Understood. Okay.
That's easy to just integrate.
So you've got your next big step then is a huge business development thing. Okay, thanks.
Okay, a couple of questions. Yeah.
I am an enthusiastic Bitwarden user. Have you considered any password manager components to your business model?
Yeah, in future, actually, I'm not like doing automation here. I don't like that because once you try to make as much as automation, then it's like you can losing the security. So we can do that. You can store your password text in password manager, but add some strict, like just style in your hand. That's I'm thinking. Like text is secure, that's okay. But if you remember one of a style or one of a color number, that's good for you. After all, it's your security, it's your data. So you have to take control of it.
Thank you. Great answer. You still need a master password for a password manager?
Yes.
I see that being your solution here.
Okay.
Any other questions from our judges? Are we good? All right, well, that's a password approach I probably can remember. I like the scooter with the colored wheels. I think I could remember that. So thank you, Nihal.
Thank
Downward
you.
round of applause.
Thanks.
All right. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, completely different but amazing solutions that you've seen here. We're on to our fourth and final finalist, and it is Automaton, and it is automated testing for managing your cloud tech app stacks. And I'm going to invite MH to come on up and tell us all about it. So, MH.
Hi. Okay, good, it works. Hi, everyone. I'm MH Lines. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Automaton. At Automaton, we're bringing codeless test automation and monitoring to complex SaaS ecosystems. So over the last, we've been talking about it, right? Like cloud has transformed everything, and it's especially transformed the way we build and deploy software. And I don't know how many of you remember how painful it was to release software before the cloud. It took 18 months, and that was to get like a point release out. And after the cloud, one engineer could all of a sudden push releases every single day to hundreds of customers, thousands of customers. And I don't know if you remember in 2005 how brutally painful enterprise software was as a result. Stuff just failed everywhere and didn't work the way it was supposed to. it's gotten better, and it's gotten better because of DevOps. So now almost more than 20% of every dollar spent on engineering is being spent on DevOps tools like test automation and continuous integration servers. And that's really, it's there to improve the quality. So there's another trend that's been happening as a result of the cloud, and it's the rise of the citizen technologist. So today, business users are purchasing technology, and they're purchasing almost 30% of all technology without any support from IT or engineering. It's people like HR, ERP systems, and especially sales and marketing. And so this is the most recent Chief MarTech landscape. These are all the just marketing technologies, SaaS marketing technologies that are on the market. It's grown 600% in the last 4 years. The average enterprise marketer is now connecting 91 tools themselves. They're selecting them, they're implementing them, and they're integrating them all by themselves without support from IT or engineering. When they don't work together, it's pretty brutal. So this is an example of one of our customers. They spend $250,000 on AdWords every single month. They're directing people to landing pages, and last year, one of those web dev people forgot to set 2/3 of the landing pages back live. And it took them 3 weeks to discover the error. People had been going to these landing pages and they were paying for it for 3 weeks. Or another one of our clients has a $3 million a year product and a 20% conversion rate on their demo trial forms. For a full month, none of those requests were being routed to sales. So when stuff doesn't work, it's pretty brutal. Leads fall on the floor, customers get pissed off and never come back. It's ugly. That's why we invented, ooh, that got funky. That's why we invented Automaton, and evidently it compresses our opportunity stack, but it's big. We have lots of opportunity. Sorry, let's see if I can go back. All right, so that's why we invented Automaton. What happens is users or centralized operations teams or even the analytics managers can configure tests. We create test data and submit it by simulating user behavior, and then we check across the tech stack to make sure that all of this complexity is routing as expected with a click of a button. Whether it is set with the click of a button or it is scheduled in the background, the user is notified the moment a test fails so that they can go in and fix things before the user is the one to find it out or hits $250,000 of ads to a 404 landing page. And then they get detailed logging so they can fix the problems quickly. And then it also provides things like error reporting, status uptime, and even historical logs for things like GDPR compliance. Okay, so, wow, that got brutal again. There's lots more errors on there. Apologies. We already have some customers who love us. We actually launched in October, and there are 52 enterprises using our products. We're seeing impressive conversions to paying and into really large-scale pilots. But what's really cool is that our customers are starting to introduce us to their vendors and asking for us to do more complex integrations. Those vendors, when their customers have unsophistication or this lack of testing in their ecosystems, it causes things like churn or high customer support costs. So they're starting to introduce us to their customers, and their customers are introducing us to their vendors, and it's working. It's large-scale, low-cost customer acquisition. No team's better positioned. My co-founder was a marketing engineering lead at Tableau. Grant, who leads our business development, is a second-time founder from the space, and I'm a second-time founder from the CRM space as well. Developers already have tools like this in the market, Circle CI, New Relic. These are the first tools on the market for business users. So, thank you. Please feel free to reach out if I can help.
I'm like the scary vision. You're like, oh man, he's coming up already. All right, judges, any questions for MH on her solution?
Are you fundraising right now?
We are actively fundraising. We're looking for $2.4 million in a seed, and we have 900,000 soft circled, but we're looking for a lead.
Given you target business users, have you had any pushback, feedback from IT? Because you look like probably another application that they're having to manage. So how do you
Okay. I can't remember. I was talking to someone today. That was my number one concern. I was thinking IT was going to start to claw back from marketing, and so we were in the TechStars program this year. And we went out and we talked to IT leaders, and they said they have no intention or interest of ever trying to manage marketers. Like that's a show they don't want to have to deal with. So it's something I'm not that surprised by, and they're thrilled that we might have to reduce the number of problems that hit them. So they've been actually allies. But I agree with you. That seemed obvious to me.
Actually, 1 minute, we will open it up to audience.
Where you want to
let the judges finish, and then we'll absolutely.
So the graphic that you showed of all of the multiple solutions that are coming to market, 600% growth in the past couple of years. How are you staying on top of all of the different applications to ensure that they integrate with your solution?
So we actually launched an open source community this year, and we haven't even promoted it yet. We used it to be able to disassociate our integrations from our core code so we could do updates without having to rebuild our integrations. But we've been surprised to see activity in GitHub of people actually starting to develop those integrations. And we also have an offshore strategy to be able to develop them ourselves.
Love that. Leveraging open source and have the community build the APIs for you. You would have scored a lot of points saying that earlier to me, but that's okay. I'll take it now. I had a different question, which was overall market opportunity, because obviously this whole space is huge. I mean, we've seen, even GitHub become, a very large organization. So what was your analysis when you're going to fundraise? How are you quantifying that?
Sure. So it's in the sales and rev tech market, it's about $145 billion in technology spend alone today. We think that we can create an incremental 5% share of wallet for quality and testing solutions to ensure that that spend is being spent consistently and wisely. Again, DevOps is about 29% of engineering spend, so we think it could even eclipse that eventually. And that's just in sales and marketing. So once we get into ad tech, once we get into HR and the other segments, it's incremental to that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for all those questions. Lord bless you for trying to wrangle the marketers, is all I can say. So congratulations. One more round of applause. Now, don't disappear on me. I'm going to ask all four, you can put that down right there, but I'm going to ask all four finalists to come on up here, and I'm also going to invite Chaitra to come up because she has a quick announcement to make. But if I can have the four finalists come on up. Bring the mic with you. You might get asked questions. So,
can I sing?
Well, you can sing, but it might work against you. You could do the cowbell. Yeah. All right, we're missing Ellen. Yeah. So we'll open up to audience questions. We have a couple minutes while the judges go through all of the information. And Mike Runner, I have a couple people. I have one. I just saw your hand right over here, if you wouldn't mind. And we'll just share the mic. We'll pass it back and forth between you. I know there was one over here and there was one over there somewhere. There. Okay, we'll do you and then we'll go to you. Okay, all right. Behind you here, right here in the green.
I have a question for the automaton team. When in the life cycle of delivery would you run this? And then how do you prioritize the defects that come out of this versus IT? And if you've seen it happening in real life, how are the teams negotiating the actual releases then?
So most of the time it's being used, well, it can be set up in two ways, right? If you've got an organization that has a ton of programs already running, there's an implementation process. But most of the time people are using it as they're setting up an incremental campaign. So we have little things like, browser plugins, or it can fire right out of Asana. So when someone's setting up a new campaign and then they set up the recurrence from there. And the defects tend to be like your page is down. So people tend to drop everything and prioritize that. And marketers aren't that organized to really have a prioritization schedule anyways in most cases. They should, but most of them don't.
All right, and then we have a question over here.
Know it, right, too?
Yeah, I had a question to the same presentation. So my other question got answered, thank you. But I wanted to ask, I didn't fully understand, one of the interesting things about DevOps is also like set it and forget it. And maybe I missed that in the presentation, but if a marketer sets a campaign once and then it fails, not immediately, but like a week or 2 weeks later or a month into the campaign, would that alarm kind of come up just like any other
So
IT
they get
alarm?
to set their frequency, right? It can be as frequent as every 5 minutes. No one really wants that level of signal noise, but right, like most people are setting them every hour or daily. And so they can set the frequency and the end date and the tool.
And does it come in the form of an email or text?
It's
or?
an email. We've almost got the Slack integration, and it can also fire back into a project management tool if that's where you're setting your.
Cool, thanks.
Great. Any other questions from the audience? Way over here, and then we'll come to the front here.
Where was it?
She's running across. She's being nice to come and meet you halfway. End of the day, she's trying to help you.
So I have a question for Roxy. I'm wondering if you have looked at all into the parallels of what has been done in the global food supply chain around farm to table and the slow foods movement.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I can tell you this, that we've had actually an egg company approach us and say that through quality assurance of transport of eggs to store and farm to table, that they have no idea what the temperature of the refrigerators are, and those end up on local mobile devices. And they're trying to even aggregate that data in photo form to verify that the food is being processed in the right way, and have come to us and said, this application is amazing. You're like the social visual blockchain on the other side of it, where you're giving a face to the back end. So we would love to be able to move into cross verticals, and we've already been approached within the space.
Awesome. And then we have a question right up at the front here as well. I know we should clap between, but we'll do a big clap at the end. How's that?
I was like, that sounds cool. Is it right here?
It does sound cool.
Sorry.
This is a question for Automaton. How integratable is Automaton into the overall other ecosystem of the products? And also the second part of the question is, do you also have extensions into the campaign usage of the product, some usage analytics that you can pull out along with the test outcome analytics?
Sure, I wish I had the graph because I'm really bad at remembering this. But we've seen about like 10% week over week growth in the usage, both from customer acquisition and increasing usage of them. We actually launched with a beta an alpha about a year ago, and we were shocked by the usage. We had 3 customers and they used it and they broke it and we couldn't ever catch up and fix it. So we re-architected, and that's why we launched in October. The integrations right now, we have like 98% coverage on marketing automation systems. We have, I think, over 70% coverage, like Dynamic CRM, HubSpot, Salesforce CRM. We've are starting to do the other tentacles of it. So we're kind of doing them as customers want them. We're like, it's a 3-month pilot for that reason.
Awesome. Well, I have a question for all of you, which is this. It takes a lot to go and be an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur many years ago. There's a reason I've been at Microsoft for 12 years. It's a lot of risk and everything else associated. So I'm excited to hear what motivated each of you, because this is a big risk and a big jump and a lot of dedication, which we cheer you for. But I'd love to hear what caused you to flip that switch and say, yep, I'm going for it.
I think for me, my mom started it, so I had some shoes to fill, but it's also being boots on the ground around the world. Seeing how the suppliers were being bullied, really, by the retailers, gave me that motivation. Because I was like, looking at how we could be able to change with cloud, with artificial intelligence, and be able to pull that all together in the B2B space through SaaS. These are all acronyms, right? But that's something that's motivating to me. So I appreciate being able to bring this to the world.
MH.
I don't know. This is just hard.
More cowbell. That's what inspired you, is more
cowbell.
More cowbell.
And Cabernet.
And Cabernet. Neha.
As I told you, like my son gave me the motivation about this technology, and I want to try to solve the cybersecurity problem out of the world and make a people's life easier, so they don't need to worry about more of how they can make a stronger security. And like every day to day is like big headache for us. So I want to solve that problem.
Wonderful. Alan.
For years, I was a consultant tech writer in the Bay Area, and I traveled into a lot of companies. I saw the chaos was going on. I contributed to it. I joined it. We all. So anyway, at some point, you get to a point in your career, and you're like, okay, I can continue to make a lot of money as a consultant, or I can try to have a difference. So I decided to start an engineering company, and integrations were something that I always felt like it was like the black magic, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Every company I go to has the same dang problem. Can't we pattern these? Can't we package these? That's where it started. Then I started partnering with larger vendors and thinking that they would just suck up my integrations, and that would be a wonderful thing. And no, they find that to be quite competitive. The integration is the gold, even though they never do it. And years pass, and finally we said in 2017, screw it, let's just make the platform that people are asking for.
I think they should make that the mantra of becoming an entrepreneur. You just hit the screw it point. We're just going to do it ourselves. So, so I wanted to say a huge congratulations to all 4 of our finalists. They did an amazing job, and it is hard to come up here and pitch. I wish we could award prizes to all 4 of you. We would love to do that. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case.
But we do have a very good surprise. Whether you win or not, you do get Azure credits for each one of them so that you actually can build a very successful business, okay? I have a few announcements.
Go for it,
let me tell you, before the wine comes in, they told us, yeah.
Earlier we talked about putting our money where our mouth is. So even if someone doesn't win here, there's people that are investors in this audience. So you should follow up with all of us.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't hear that.
Yes.
Investors in the audience, amazing folks here.
Yes.
Amazing folks.
Okay, the wine and the cheese and everything is coming. They said it's 10 minutes. I need to keep you engaged. Can you?
We would like. We got cowbell.
Yeah, I came up with a list of like 20 announcements. I don't know how much you can take. Yeah, stay here. It's fun. So first is the Cloud Innovator, the Pitch Challenge, which is the inaugural event, right? This one was a platform created. So how many of you are traveling from outside of the town? Wow, that's amazing. So here is what is a action for you. I want you guys to host your regional Cloud Innovator so we can really curate the pipeline of entrepreneurs. Can I get that commitment?
Yeah.
That'll be good.
I saw multiple hands on that one.
Yes. We want to do is 50 cities at the same time. I think women can do it. Can we do it? Yeah. 2020 or 2021? 2020, yes. That's what we want to do. The second one is, how many of you are traveling from New York? Okay, so the New York Accelerator is open. So please apply so that we can actually get the New York Accelerator, we kick it off, and then followed by the India Accelerator, followed by Chicago, and then Canada. So this whole year, we want to drive like 300 entrepreneurs who can come on the stage and say, we did it. So are you guys going to help us recruit those entrepreneurs?
Absolutely.
Yes? 300 solutions. Okay, I have a great announcement which Riza did, which is the ticket sales for next year is available.
Yay!
You know when it is? There you go. It's on January 31st. Same place. We get to celebrate 1,000 people. Are we going to come? Yes. So please purchase your ticket so that we know that you're going to make it, and that gives us acceleration to really put an amazing event together. So I don't have to really stand here and go to every executive and tin cup for the whole year. Make it easy. Okay, you need to invest in women. Join the online community. How many of you are in the online community? We need 100%. We are closer to 800 people. We want to get it to 1,000 by the end of this, by tomorrow. Can we do it? Okay, bring everybody there. There was a postcards on the table. The food is coming. So the postcards are on the table. Please take please write those action for yourself because it's very, very important. Because then you get a reminder from us. It's pretty fantastic when you get that reminder, right? And then March 8th, International Women's Day, we will be doing the 21-day economic access campaign. We want each and every one of you to participate because that is a voice of women asking for economic access and creating economic access. Are you guys with me on that? Yeah. Fantastic. Then I have a list of thank yous. It's going to be like the Oscar Awards, okay? So I'm going to see. So I want to first thank all the judges. When I asked these judges, let's give a big round of applause. I asked these judges, I said, can you please come and judge the Cloud Innovator Pitch competition? You know what the answer was? Yes. Tell me what I need to do. So those are those women. So thank you for doing that. Thank you. And then I want to thank Karen. She was my partner in crime to put this event together. So thank you. You're awesome. And then I want to thank Raiza. Where are you? Come on over. Let's give a big round of applause.
Good job.
To thank Stacy Tatum. Come, let's give a big round of applause. You know how many members she got to the online community? 200 plus people. Wow. She is the ambassador. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I want to thank Holly Condas. Where are you? Stand up, please. She also did the best advisory work for the entrepreneurs. I can't tell you, if something was not working, she would pick up the phone, Chaitra, it's not working. Can you make this happen? So thank you for really encouraging all the entrepreneurs to be successful. I want to thank Dominic. Where are you, Dominic? Are you here? Where is he? He's the guy who was creating all the campaign materials for the International Women's Day. He traveled from UK to support us. So for last 3 years, we've been able to reach over 14 million people with his work. He was the soul behind, or the backbone behind, to making this happen. So let's give a big round of applause for him. I want to thank Lindsay. And he actually did all the creative content for us. So when you look at the bottles that you have, the messaging, how powerful those messaging is. So he made sure that the content was created really well. We have Nadia. Let's give a big round of applause. She does the photography for the Women in Cloud. So when you look like those divas, it's her magic. She makes it happen. So please have her do your events. Give business to her. She's the one who makes this possible. Then we have Vinay. Where are you, Vinay? Yes. Where are you, Vinay? So he's the guy who's behind you. He has come from India, makes things happen. He's part of my team, makes any kind of technology automation that makes it happen. And then along with him is Poonam and Vibha. They make all the pieces that come together, especially the social media. We had 120 speakers, contributors who made it happen, along with the judges and everything. All that was possible because the team was like crunching content. Didn't you see like every day the LinkedIn was like coming up with content? It was because of them. So let's give the big round of applause for them. And I want to really thank Marka, Jackie, Mitch from the SHW Worldwide. They were the event organizing team behind to make sure this event works fabulously. So let's give them a big round of applause. And all the volunteers, please stand up. Please stand up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't tell you. 150 volunteers were here to help 1,000 plus people. So thank you for doing that. This wouldn't have happened if it was not a community led, right? It was hard to get anything come together. So it's all because of you. Let's create more access. So now let's do a drum roll. I want the judges to come here. Come on over. Wendy. Yeah, we have participated. Thank you. Because the wine is here, the cheese is here, so. Yep. it was hard to make the final decision who gets the award. So who gets the award, right? So what are you going to get? There is a $10,000 in cash prize. There's also $10,000 in Azure credit, and the winner gets to get into the Cloud Accelerator for the third cohort. So that is what they get. It's $21,000 value for you. Okay, so let's give a big round of applause. So Karen, ready to unveil the winner? Drum roll, drum roll. Okay, so the winner is Automaton. Group picture. Karen, go there. Yeah, Nadia is trying to take a picture. So, isn't that cool? Access to investments. Thank you. Thank you for doing this one. Thank you. Okay, Karen, any few words? Go ahead.
Yeah, so what a great way to end a fabulous summit, right? So how many of you were feeling for the people up here, right, doing that, right? Wow, right? Yeah, I mean, really, that was really hard. And talking smart, talking tech, talking business, right, all day long. That was incredibly inspiring, especially for those of us that, knew a little bit more about what they were talking about, right? So this brings us to the close of another fabulous summit. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We've got wine, we've got food. I hope you continue to network and hang out with us and catch up with us online and keep this momentum going. Thank you.